everyone, welcome back to another video. So today in this video I have Johanna BASFORD'S Small Victories again. I absolutely love this coloring book, and I have my ARRTX swatch chart for the 126 set. There was a post in my Facebook group where a member was wondering what other budget sets worked well in this coloring book on this paper, and so I thought that I would do a couple different videos testing out a couple different budget sets, and since ARRTX is one of the more popular sets, I thought I would start out with that one. I may do another video for the 120 square Brute Fooner as well. I know those are pretty popular. If you have any other sets you'd like me to try out in this coloring book, please let me know in the comments below. If you check the description box down below, you'll find links down there for everything that you see in this video, as well as links to my Etsy shop, my Facebook group, and my Patreon if you'd like to support me there. I also now have channel membership. If you would like to find more information out about that, you can click the join button down below this video. So today in this video, I think I'm going to go ahead and color this adorable little house right here. Now when I'm coloring, I just want to see how the ARRTX pencils are going to lay down, how well they blend together, how many layers I can get down here on the paper, and how much depth and dimension I can create. As most of you probably already know, not every single colored pencil set is going to work well on every paper, so I feel like videos like this are pretty important because it will help you to know which budget sets you can pull out and use in this book. I have only used Prismacolors in this book, and they work beautifully on this paper, but I feel like the Prismacolors pretty much work on most all paper, and that's one of the reasons I love them so much. But with a lot of the budget sets, you will find that some budget sets work well in certain coloring books and other budget sets work better in different coloring books. So we're going to go ahead and test these out today and see how they perform. So we are going to need some green since there's leaves on the top of the house. So this is my swatch chart that is available in my Etsy shop. I did put all of these colors into color family order, and all of the names and numbers are already written out for you. You just have to grab the swatch chart and color in the boxes. So I think I'm going to go up here and look at some of these greens. I think I might want to go with fern green, asparagus green, and then I need something a lot lighter. So fern green, asparagus green, and pale green. And these pencils do all have the name and a number written on them, so it makes it very easy to be able to find them. Let me go ahead and hold it closer and show you, but I do have a review on these if you would like to see that. But you can see that the name asparagus green does show pretty well on the barrel of the pencil, so they are pretty easy to go ahead and grab from my pencil case. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the lightest color first. This is the pale green, and I'm just going to lay one layer in all of these leaves on the top of the house. I love little fairy type houses that have leaves for the roof. I think it's adorable. Johanna BASFORD does that, and Maria Trolle does that. Okay, so this is going to be my initial layer, and the color did go down really nicely. You're going to find with some budget sets that the colors are not very deeply pigmented, but I feel like with these, I don't have that issue, and they seem to be doing fairly well on this paper. Now, I'm just going to come up here and blend the asparagus green right into that pale green, and I'm just doing it at the tops here where I have one leaf laying over the other or one leaf laying next to another leaf, just so I could start working on creating that depth and dimension that I want to see. Keep in mind these leaves are fairly small, so even if I had just used two colors, probably would have been okay. Well, I definitely would have been okay. If you're a beginner and you only want to use two colors in your color combination, a darker one and a lighter one, that is always fine, especially in spaces like these that are very super small. Now that was two layers, and the color seems to be going down very nicely. Now I have my fern green, and I'm going to use my fern green to try to add quite a bit more depth here. And look how nicely this color is actually going down onto the paper. It's layering over the other colors very nice. and the color is going straight down on the paper without me having to use a whole lot of pressure. So for a budget pencil set, this ARRTX set is actually a very nice set of pencils, and the price has dropped significantly on these. For 126 colors lately, they have been right around $29 or so, and that is a fantastic deal for these because initially when they were first released they were over $50. So if you can grab them at only $29, $30, you're getting a fantastic deal. I will have a link for these down in the description box below if you don't already have this set. As you can see, they are working really beautifully on this paper in this coloring book. Now let's see how well I can go over a second time with my darker color and really intensify that color, and how well it works on this paper trying to get that second layer on there. Now remember, I do in total have, I think, 3 layers, so now 4 layers with the additional layer of the darker color. And the color is still laying down really nicely. So I'm just coming in here and blending this darker color out and pulling it down with the mid-tone. It's working really nicely. But yeah, the colors are blending together beautifully, and the colors are layering on top of one another really nicely too. I'm just coming in with my lightest color, which was the pale green, and I'm going to do a blend of all of the colors together over every one of these leaves, and then we're going to move to the other part of the little house. Okay, so I think I want the actual house to be yellow, and maybe I'll just use 2 colors and see how it turns out initially. I'm going to use the goldenrod and the jasmine, and I'm going to see what I could do with just these 2 before I go and add something else. I may need to grab a lighter brown and add a little bit of that in here just to create a little bit more depth. But again, this initial layer is laying down beautifully. And then I am going to grab my goldenrod and I'm going to add this color right over the jasmine. I'm going to add some down here where the leaves are going over the top of the house, and then come down here along the side, and then here where the mushroom is. And I'm going to go all around the mushroom just to make it look like this mushroom is laying on top of the house, or to the front of the house. I'm going to go up and down the side here of the house, and then down here where I have the mushrooms, because again I want to make the mushrooms look like they're laying to the front of the house. But look how that color is going right down there. There's literally no hesitation. It lays right down on the paper. I don't have to use hard pressure. Now I'm going to grab the jasmine again, and I'm going to use the jasmine just to blend these 2 colors together. I might want to grab a brown. Let me see. Let me look at my swatch chart here. So here is the goldenrod, and if I wanted a brown that was going to add just a little bit something to this, I probably want to go with the sienna brown just to darken it up a little bit. And the sienna brown still has a little bit of brightness to it, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Okay, so I have my sienna brown, and I'm just going to darken this up just a little bit. I'm just going right over those other colors that I laid down, and I did sharpen my pencil. I have sharpened my pencil before I've used any of these colors because the spaces that I'm coloring are so super small, and I want to make sure that I don't go into the areas where I want to keep that little bit of highlight that I still want in there. I'm going to go right here, right above the door, to add a little bit of depth right there, and then down the side of the door. So now I have my goldenrod, and I'm just going to blend that color out and into the other colors. I see a couple spaces where it looks a little bit rough and not blended out enough. So I'm just making sure I go over all of those spaces so I can get a really nice blend. Now I have my jasmine, and I'm just going to go over the whole thing and blend all these colors together. And look how nice they are actually blending out. For a budget set, this is a really nice set of pencils. The blendability of these is really good, and the fact that I'm able to layer the colors as much as I have been able to is really nice as well, because this paper is pretty smooth. Okay, so we need to do the cute little chimney up here. I think I'm going to do that first, and I think I'm going to use the same colors that I used for the house, but maybe use them a little bit differently. I'm going to lay down the sienna brown which is the darkest color that I used, and I'm gonna lay that down first. So this is a little experiment to see if they work better when I lay down the darker color first, or if they work better going from lightest to darkest. I can already tell that it's going to look very different than the bottom part of the house. So what do I want to blend that out with? I think I just want to use the goldenrod and blend that color in. Actually, maybe I'll pull that over just a little like that. I'm leaving a little bit of the white of the paper right over here, but look how nicely that is blending. I think this actually worked better than what I did on the inside of the house. Oh, I really like how these work when you go from darker to lighter. I feel like I was able to create a lot more depth in there than doing it the other way. And then I'm just going to come in here at the top of the chimney, and I'm just going to straight color this with the sienna brown. Maybe I want to make the door look a lot like the chimney. Okay, let me do this a little bit differently. I'm going to take the sienna brown, and I'm actually going to color this in all the way towards the center, and then I'm going to come here and do it down the side and at the bottom. Instead of the goldenrod, I'm going to use the jasmine to pull these colors together and see what happens. Let's see if I can get as good of a blend as I did with the other colors, and I don't think I am. So let me go ahead and grab the goldenrod, and this is the test. Let's see now how well these colors actually blend together. And I don't feel like I'm getting as good of a blend here. I think I need something maybe a little bit darker to fix that now, because I really want that door to stand out. Maybe something with a little bit of red in it. This Venetian red, and that's very pretty. I'm going to try to go over it with that and see if I can fix that. This is the real test, y'all. Oh, and it's definitely changing it up quite a bit, and it's actually laying down and layering right over the top. Oh, wow. Oh, I really like that. That totally fixed it. Look at the difference. Oh, that just added so much. The red with the little pop of jasmine and goldenrod, that is so super pretty. Now that I did that, I think I want to come up here and play with this color just a little bit, maybe add a little red to the chimney, and just look how this color is laying right over the top. These ARRTX pencils are working really well. You could definitely see how much I was able to layer these colors. Now I'm thinking I might want to add a little bit of this over here and a little bit of this color under the leaves. I've got quite a few layers here, and the color is still laying right over the top of the other colors. Oh, how pretty. Oh, that really changed it up quite a lot. So now we need to color in these mushrooms, and I really want them to stand out off of those golden tones. So I'm thinking I might do blue mushrooms. I don't know, that would be a little bit out of the ordinary, but we can do it because it's just a coloring book. I don't know, should I do some maybe red violets or blues or purples? Maybe I'll try orchid purple and lavender, because we don't have a whole lot of space, so we really just need two colors. Actually, before I do the mushrooms, let me go ahead and just finish the inside of the door. That's going to be super quick. I'm actually just going to use my jasmine and fill some of this in here, and then I'm going to come back over it with the goldenrod. I think these are little steps down here, so let me go ahead and add some of the Venetian red. I'm going to use the jasmine and pull these colors together, and then it sort of matches with the outside of the door. Okay, that's super cute. So I have my orchid purple and my lavender. We're going to go ahead and quickly color in these little mushrooms. So this is my lavender, and then this is the orchid purple. Just add a little bit of that in there. But I do love how these pencils are laying down in this book. I am actually just going to straight color these. I have the fern green, and the spaces are so small that I'm just going to color them in. These down here at the bottom, I am going to grab another color because they're laying too close to one another. This one's a little bit bigger, so maybe I will use two colors. This one, I'm going to use the darker color on the outside, and then I'll blend it out with a different color. I have the asparagus green, and these are just the colors I used here in the top of the roof where I had all those leaves, and so I'm just going to come in here and blend these colors together. Maybe use a little bit of the white of the paper here in this one, a little teeny tiny tad bit. I do need to do the little doorknob. I did that with the Venetian red. And then I have what I think is probably grass down there. but I think I might want to use different greens for the grass. I think I want to do the army green and the lime peel. That'll look a little bit different. So I'm gonna again do this little piece of grass here differently like I did here in the chimney, and I'm gonna use the darker color first. I'm going to add this color all up underneath the house, and look how dark that color is actually getting. This color is definitely just laying right down there. Now I have the lime peel, and I'm going to go in a circular motion, and I am just going to blend that color out and pull it down towards the bottom. But look how nicely these colors are blending. Oh wow, I really like that. So now we just need to finish it off and do something with the mushrooms. Oh, and we need a color in the stems. So maybe I'll make the stems of the mushrooms the same color I did here in the grass. So that way it creates a little bit of balance. Actually, maybe I'll just use this army green and actually go all the way down with it. Oh yeah, I like that. It's such a small space. When you have little teeny tiny spaces like this in your coloring books, don't ever be afraid to just straight color. That actually brought that color from down here up into the center of the house and created a little bit of balance. And now I'm thinking that I might want to grab the army green and try to layer a little bit of this over those other greens. Now that I know that these pencils layer so well. But yeah, that just added a little bit of balance throughout the whole image by adding a little bit of army green in the top like I had down here in the bottom. And it didn't change it up too much. It added a little bit more darkness, and it brought that color from down here to up there. Now we just need to do the dots on the mushrooms. So I have my glitter Posca. If you saw my last haul, you probably already saw these. I'll link that video up in the upper right hand corner, but these are the glitter Posca and they are super fun. I'm going to use the yellow one to finish off the mushrooms. Let me check this before I put it to my coloring book. Okay, it's good. When you're using paint markers, you always want to check them before you just lay them down to make sure they're not flowing too much, because you don't want to ruin what you've already done in your coloring book. Oh, I think that's super cute. Maybe I could just go over the little window in the door too with the glitter. Oh, that's cute. Okay, y'all, so it's all done, and I will say that these ARRTX pencils worked really well in Johanna Basford's Small Victories on this paper. The color laid right down as soon as I touched the paper. They are very deeply pigmented. You really can't even tell that you're using a budget set of pencils. A lot of times when you're using a budget set, some of them will take a lot more effort to apply the color down onto the paper, and you do have to use harder pressure, or you need to come back and lay lots and lots of layers. But I find with these that the color lays down very well initially. You really only need a couple layers. I don't have 9, 10, 11 layers down on this adorable little house. I only have like maybe, I don't know, what did I do? Maybe 4 or 5 layers in each section, and the color went down beautifully, and I was still able to create a little bit of depth and dimension, and I think it turned out really super cute. I love my little red violet mushrooms with a little pop of glitter. But overall, I think it turned out really, really nicely. And if you don't already have the ARRTX pencils, I think they are a great set to have. If you don't already have Johanna Basford's Small Victories, this has very quickly become one of my favorite coloring books. I've got quite a few tutorials. I will try to put them all in one playlist. So if you would like to see all of the videos where I've colored in this coloring book, you can just go to the playlist and watch them all through. Everything that you've seen me use in this video, I will have links for all of that down in the description box below, as well as my ARRTX swatch chart that I have put into color family order for you so that you don't have to. You just need to fill in all the boxes and you've got a beautiful swatch chart. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy coloring. Bye.